knew I wouldn't need my bulky old leather one ever again.
My bank cards are now protected with all the security that my brittle bones currently are not. Unlike this hunk of shit scooter, or my femur, the Ridge wallet comes with a lifetime guarantee and comes in over 30 different colours and styles, including titanium. Wow! The Ridge wallet is the wallet of the future, and it even slides comfortably in these jeans that I shrunk in the wash. I am absolutely rigid for my new Ridge wallet. My Ridge wallet protects my driver's license, if I had one, and my debit cards and weird coffee shop. Ooh, I am not handling this hill very well.
As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by gravity, my Ridge wallet is the perfect wallet for all my card-keeping needs. And if you want one too, all you need to do is follow the link below and use my coupon code ORDINARY for 10% off. Thanks, Ridge. On paper, London might seem like the perfect e-scooter market. A large, urban city with a mostly carless population who will risk life and limb to avoid the fucking circle line at rush hour. Above ground though, the city's roads are narrow and rendered illogical after years of building on top of the parts that burnt down, got bombed out, or lived in by poor people. Dockless e-scooter companies have only just been given permission to land, and even then it's only in restricted spaces and only on trial schemes. Their 3-year absence though has led to widespread e-scooter ownership in the UK, with British people either unaware or giving no shits about them being illegal to ride. But are the British right to be scooter skittish? Are these things safe? Well, luckily we can now find out by looking at all the data of the cities that have allowed these things to fly free. The BMJ conducted a scoping study looking at 28 other peer-reviewed studies of scooter injuries in different cities across the world. And it revealed a worrying trend. A high percentage of e-scooter injuries were head injuries, especially when compared with other mobility options like cycling. The essential and overlooked problem with e-scooters is in their basic design. Unlike a bike, you ride it standing up, and therefore higher up. Meaning that if you fall off one of these things, you've got a longer way to fall and are more likely to go arse over tit. Whee! Scooters also lack the suspension of a bike, which insulates the rider from uneven or rough terrain. You can now attach a seat to some private e-scooters, but let's face it, if you're doing that, you've basically bought a turbo little rascal with one wheel missing. I would also argue, without any data but with a basic grasp of human nature, that these dockless rental companies are creating an opportunity for a more impulsive model of scooter use. As in, glug glug, scoot scoot, smashy smashy. In September 2019, Berlin opened their arms and craniums to e-scooters, allowing 11,000 units to have free reign in the city, providing us with an excellent sample size.
Hey, what? Was ist los da?
Scheiße! Ja, Mensch!
Scooter injuries in Berlin were found to be more common on weekends, and a significant cohort were helmet-free and intoxicated, or unfamiliar with the city. Now, are these companies responsible for the actions of those who use their service? No. Car manufacturers aren't liable for the actions of drunk drivers, but then again, they aren't dumping Toyotas in tourist spots with the keys in the ignition. But as far as Bird and Lime are concerned, these injuries are just martyrdoms in the holy war against our real enemy, the car.
But Bird's mission is to remove cars from the road, reduce traffic, reduce carbon emissions, and so we want to be there to help, riders across the world really kick the addiction to cars, whether it's, sharing, renting by the month, owning. Bird platform, we think all those things fit very nicely with our mission.
Any environmental kudos that these companies lay claim to is immediately undercut by the short shelf life of these scooters, as well as the cost and carbon necessitated in their production and replacement. Even private e-scooters rarely live longer than 2 years and are hard to fix. When these dockless scooters aren't being used by tourists, they are being used for short, work-related trips, mostly under 3 miles. Trips that could just as easily be taken by, say, a bike. For those unfamiliar, a bike is a 19th century invention that is both safer, healthier for you, doesn't fall apart in 2 years, and is actually environmentally friendly. They say that you can't reinvent the wheel, but if you're backed by enough venture capital cash, you sure can try.
Wait a minute. He's on the highway? Bruh. I'm going 50 right now, bruh.
At the beginning of 2020, Lime had over 120,000 scooters occupying 30 countries. While the expansion hadn't been profitable, it had certainly been explosive. But just as Brad's strategy of spending his way to world domination looked like it was paying off, COVID came along and killed what little revenue they were making.